All right, now I'm going to move into the kind of in-between guys. I picked two guys that could have played. They're kind of guard forwards, and especially in the NBA, they might be guards. And that is, in the old school, we have Scotty Burrell, the guy who threw the pass to Tate George in the Dream Season Sweet 16 game, who also was signed by the Blue Jays as a pitcher. And he was just a great athlete. Great athlete. I mean, I've seen him do some crazy things, especially when he got a little older and had to lead the team a little bit more. Scott Burrell was a great player. And I'm going to put Caron Butler also there with him. Those two guys, as far as kind of wing guys, they could go 2 or 3. In other words, 2 guard or small forward. Caron was great too. He wasn't there like a lot of these guys later. He wasn't there long enough, but Caron was a great leader and a great scorer, and he took that team on his back that year and almost took him to the Final Four. Okay, now I'm going to give you my big man. And once again, like I said, throughout history, whatever the case may be, Calhouns like to play 3 guards. We didn't have that history of like a Georgetown where we had centers coming in all the time. We just didn't. We had undersized guys usually, or just guys who were they were role players and stuff. But I'm gonna give you my five favorite big guys. My most favorite, my most dominant big men. There's my top 5. And then again, in no particular order. We have Emeka Okafor. Won a national championship with Ben Gordon. Graduated in 3 years. First scholar athlete UConn had in like 1960. He's a great defensive player. Could rebound, block shots. He had an insight. Great college player. Really good. And then I'm gonna throw Hashim Thabit in there. Even though, and I'm gonna tell you why. This guy didn't start playing basketball till he was like 17. He didn't know what he was doing, and he still, he was awful, at the beginning at times, but he really developed into quite a dominant force his last year or so, where he led the nation in blocks, and like, again, as far as big men, we don't have a lot to choose from, and the guy was huge. He was a legit big man, and he was a pretty good defensive player, kind of like a Mutombo. So I'm going to have him in there. And then I'm going to throw, I'm going to go old school again. I'm going to go Cliff Robinson, which is an old school guy. He played in the, I think, late 80s, but he was the first big draft pick out of UConn and the first kind of good NBA player out of UConn. So I got to throw Cliff Robinson in there. And and my last couple of guys I'm gonna give you, number 1 is Charlie Villanueva, another guy I didn't think who was there that long, but man, he had a real smooth game for the college. He was like 6'11", he could shoot from the outside, he could do a lot of things, he could handle the ball. I really enjoyed him, and I liked that team he was on. That that 04 team was just wow. There was a lot of good players on that team. And then I'm gonna go with another guy who didn't stay there long enough, and he could have won a national championship, but his team lost to George Mason in a ridiculous upset, and that would be Rudy Gay. He was a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal player, long, could do a lot, very athletic, great scorer, explosive. Like, again, all these guys are, maybe except a couple, even Thabit, had his moments where you got it inside to him and he could just dunk it. But like I said, most of these guys are explosive scorers. Most of these guys are explosive scorers, whether they're bigs or wings or whatever. Guys who could take over a game. Guys who were dominant players for UConn. I'm gonna end my list with some intangibles. Let's see. And as far as I'm gonna give you my honorable mentions as far as the big men go, and I'm gonna give you Travis Knight and Jake Voskuhl, two guys who played near around the same time, and two guys were pretty good. I used to give them a hard time at one point, but they both were, big guys. They did a lot of the dirty work and took a lot of flack, and must have been tough going up against Shaq for Travis Knight. So I give him credit for that. Anyway, I'm gonna end this by giving you my intangible players. Okay, so I got a few more awards to hand out. Best 3-point shooter in UConn history, Rashad Anderson. This guy could make shots, especially threes. He had a pretty stroke. It was an unusual stroke, but man, it went down. I can remember times where he scored 9 points in 40 seconds, at the end of games. This guy could gun. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't ever afraid to take a shot, and a lot of them went in. Let me see. Best pure point guard. I'm going to say I'm a big Daron Sheffer fan. I love him. But I'm going to say best pure point guard, Marcus Williams. He could just handle the ball. If you look at his assist numbers, it's too bad he stole laptops out of people's dorm rooms. It's too bad he stole laptops out of kids' dorm rooms, because this guy was really a good, pure point guard. Like I said, I think he holds the record for assists in a career or assists in a season at UConn. I really liked that team with him at the point, distributing the ball. Great player. Best enforcer. You know who I'm going to pick? There's a lot of guys. We could talk about Eric Hayward. We could talk about Willingham. We could talk about Freeman. Even Hilton Armstrong. But I'm going to go with a guy that I just always liked, and that's Jeff Adrian. He was a great rebounder, great defender. He never let anyone get the best of him. He seemed to always pick up his teammates. Great team player. Jeff Adrian gets my vote. Jeff Adrian gets my vote. I'm a big Jeff Adrian fan. And then I'll end with this. Best basketball IQ. Now I'm going to go back to my boy Daron Sheffer. I saw so many times where he made Donnie Marshall look good by getting the ball up court to him on a fast break. He always seemed to make the right pass. Never turned the ball over like in clutch situations. And he made a lot of 3-point shots when we needed him to. He just always seemed to kind of know what to do. Even though he wasn't the fastest or most athletic. He just always seemed to know what to do, even though he wasn't the most athletic or the fastest guy out there. So, all right, well, that's my list of most explosive and basically my awards for UConn men's basketball players throughout the year. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you think differently or the same, or give me your list. I'd like to hear from you, all right? Till next time, take care.